Fresno, we're gonna put you all upon the Hound Patrol! Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal production of YouTube, and welcome to another, concert review. And as you can see by the title, it is of course for me attending Raven's Wiped Out 40th Anniversary Tour with, again, they have been touring with the band Riot Act, which is right now has just been Rick Ventura, who was one of the original members of the band Riot, best known for albums like Naria, Fight On Under, and Restless Breed, and of course even other albums like Rock City, their debut, and he wasn't even on that album, okay? He wasn't. It was Louis Cavaras, who of course again ended up forming along with Rick Ventura, but eventually after releasing their self-titled EP, which was mostly re-recorded stuff from back in 2020, he ended up passing away due to symptoms, of the coronavirus during when it was kind of breaking out. And of course, since they had released an album this year, which is titled Closer to the Flame, which I can show you right now since I end up getting it anyways. But this album right here, Closer to the Flame, which at some point is going to be a review on this channel. Okay, I'll put it on the bed real quick there. It'll go back over there where I got a pile. As you can see, it's been a big fucking pile. But that is besides the point right now. That is besides the point. Prior to me, I guess to September 30th, after what I had gotten tickets, to see Scorpions and Thundermother, which they are coming here in 2 days anyways, to play at the Save Mart Center. Apparently, my brother, of course, who bought the tickets for the Raven show, he had gotten an email saying that Riot Act had pulled out of that night, basically just canceling that night. And I was a little bit bummed because I wanted to at least see Rick Ventura and him play some of those classic Riot songs. But in Riot Act's place was, I think they're from Fresno, I Have Aquila, and of course Haunt. Now, I never seen Haunt. I do own one album from Haunt though, which is crazy because he has released a bunch of shit over time, even dropping an album this year. But again, it's Burst in the Flame. And so I never got to see Haunt. My brother did when he had seen them with Warbringer and Enforcer back in 2019. Was it 2019? Yeah, it was 2019, I believe. Or was it 2020? No, it was 2019. Excuse me. I don't know. I'm getting jumbled up there. But it was 2019, and it was at Strummers as well, funny enough. So I never really got to see Haunt, so this was a really cool chance to actually see them, even though I was still somewhat bummed that Riot Act had pulled out of the show. For unknown reasons that has never, so far right now, has never been answered. So I don't know why that they wanted to pull out of, why they did it. Probably because of scheduling ideas or them being afraid that they may not make that date. I don't know. It's crazy. So anyways, finally, when it came to, September 30th, we arrive at Strummers, and when we go inside, normally I tend to buy at least something first, and my intention was to buy something from Raven. That would be a t-shirt. So I was looking forward to buying first a Raven shirt, which I'll show you eventually. However, the only merch booth that was available, that was up and running, was Haunt's booth. And I didn't buy anything from Haunt. Not to say that I don't like Haunt, it's just that there's a plethora of stuff to buy from, and I just don't have enough money on me to even buy anything else after, Burst into Flames. So I know there's a lot of stuff I have to catch up anyways, but I didn't even buy a t-shirt, and again, it's nothing against Haunt. It's just personally me who's got my personal sort of reasons, whatever. I've got my mind set up on what I'm gonna get, and I have the money on me in order to get that stuff, So I just skipped that. However, after my brother had purchased a Haunt CD, here comes apparently Raven and I guess the guy that runs Raven's booth already arriving and setting up a table. Apparently, Raven were somewhat late in a way. And then again, that is Fresno. It's to be expected. My only memory of any artist being late before a show would be Joan Jett back in 2003, at least October of 2003 for the Fresno Fair, a long time ago. And that's my only other memory of that. So this is since, what, 2003 that I've ever been to a concert where a band was late. So it was really crazy. So I didn't really get to buy anything until after Eye of Aquila set. And also to say something about Eye of Aquila, I know I'm speaking pretty fast. They were pretty good to begin with. They were fine. So they were fine. Again, they were very more doomy to an extent, more of a doom metal sound. I've got footage of them anyways, and I'll play that at the end of the video. But they were fine. So nothing really against Eye of Aquila. I didn't buy anything from them as well. But they were fine. So again, I didn't want to buy, right during what Eye of Aquila set, the guy was setting up Raven's merch table and everything. He's setting it up. And it's just crazy. And I didn't really want to bug the guy anyways while doing so. And also, I don't really care for the idea of buying things while during a band is playing. Because for me personally, I want to at least really, be there at least and pay attention to what the band is doing and listen to the music and everything and not try and do anything else. Unless the band is a shit to begin with or the music is just not interesting to me, That those are just where I'm at in that opinion there. So there you go. So moving on, finally, after Eye of Aquila set is done, I then make my way to Raven's merch booth because of, I'm rambling on so fast that things aren't just coming out the way that they should. So eventually I go towards the table and I buy myself a shirt, which I'll show you right now. So it's in my closet and this is it. The Mind Over Metal shirt right there. Really fucking cool shirt. I'm definitely going to wear that shirt when I go see Scorpions and Thunder Mother. Of course, by the time you probably watch this video, I had already seen them. So, there we go. But yeah, that's what I ended up buying from Raven's merch booth. So finally, I am pretty much expecting now Haunt to go on stage, okay? I'm expecting Haunt to go on stage because I've already bought what I wanted, and in a way I got extra money. So if I felt like wanting to buy something from Haunt, I probably would have. However, as people, again, stuff is getting set up on the stage because usually after every band gets done with their set, it's on to the next band setting up their own set, because the previous band is going to take their stuff off the stage and leave it to where the next band, and artist is going to go on stage and set up their own stuff, the way that they want it set. Because again, this is not like something like a big arena where everything's preset. This is a lot more different. It's more smaller. Again, you would know that if you go to these smaller venues like Strummers here in Fresno or the Fulton 55. Very different experience and atmosphere. Similar way to with the very now defunct Knitting Factory in Reno, Nevada. So somehow there was a change in plans. Here I'm expecting Haunt to go on stage, but instead at very last minute decision on that day, Riot Act decides to show up. So right before they even get on stage, their mirth booches, of course, is getting set up. And I was shocked. So I guess, for all I know, the maybe in change of plans was probably due to the fact that Raven was probably getting late there, or maybe they were trying on situating a something, they were trying to get a situation done, probably because of the fact that Riot Act had canceled a date, and maybe they were trying to ease something out on, so they kind of give the people, especially me, what they paid for, which again, if you look at the ticket, well, it would say Raven and Riot Act. And so they wanted to at least give the audience what they paid for. So they must have worked out something. So finally, again, I went up to the table beforehand and end up getting a copy of the EP right here, which is now becoming a very rare item. Again, it was what, $10, pretty cheap to begin with, and that's what I had left on me after paying $30 for that Raven shirt. So finally, I was able to finally see Riot Act, to see Rick Ventura play, and it was a pretty short set. Mostly played at least 5 classic songs and 1 new song, which would be the title track off the new album, and it was a really good set. I wish they would have been able to play a much longer set, but because of the situation, the fact that they went and canceled it, and there are 2 other bands that are put in their place, obviously it really kind of shortened up their set. But it was a great short set. Went through a lot of the classics. I've got some footage of them playing anyways, especially playing like Warrior. And it was great just to hear songs like Swords and Aquila and Road Racing and Rock City. And even No Lies, too. It was just great to finally hear some of those songs. And again, Rick Ventura was in top shape. Everyone, Don Chafin. I'm gonna save my thoughts for the rest of the band whenever I get to reviewing Closer to the Flame. But it was a great show. They put on a really cool set. So I'm just going to end things right there. But they just did a very killer short set. I just wish it was longer. Hopefully the next time when I see Riot Act, if they ever come through Fresno, hopefully it's at least a much longer set. Because I wanted to hear more afterwards. It was such a great performance from them. And I just wished it was just a longer set. But great performance, so I was finally able to see them. Finally, it was up, Haunt was up next, and this is even funnier. So I've got some stories here, and I'm going to be telling these stories for the rest of my life here when it comes to, let's say, the topic of concert experiences that you'll never forget. And this night really had plenty of unforgettable experiences. And this one was close to being one of the most unforgettable experiences. When you want to talk about a Spinal Tap moment, there was plenty this night. And when it came to Haunt, this really ended up elevating those Spinal Tap-ish moments. Because here, Haunt is finally, Trevor and now all of them are setting up their equipment, and everything's all, in a way, they were hoping that everything was all set up. So finally, Haunt is ready to come on stage. They got this very epic, very just elaborate music being played in the background, just to set the tone up, to kind of get everyone into the show. You know how what is like Megadeth, whenever play like sirens, like the Doomsday sirens, whatever, as a way before they really hit the stage, just as a way to kind of get you into the mood. Judas Priest used I think War Pigs for Black Sabbath. There's this way to kind of get you into the mood of the show, and it kind of gives you a good idea what to expect. And so all this was going, and you're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fucking awesome. And so finally, when Trevor finally gets on stage, instead of playing, he goes and directs, all right, that amp is not on. And I'm like, fuck, it was crazy. All of a sudden it's like, well, there went that attempt. And so what the one guy basically said, just play some fucking rock and roll, motherfucker. And it was just unbelievable. It was a Spinal Tap moment. And so finally now, there's just another delay now. And Haunt's playing, it's delay. And now they got to fix whatever was not completely been set up now. Like an amp or something that just wasn't on. Or a sound thing. It was just crazy. Finally, second attempt, it ended up being great, and finally we were able to get into a great show. Haunt did a great set, played some old stuff and some newer stuff, and again, stuff that I just never really heard. And with this new band that Trevor has, great freaking set list, great band. They just killed it that night. Haunt were fucking awesome. And again, from my first time, experiencing Haunt live, they were great. There's a reason why they are, I would definitely still would consider them Fresno heroes, whenever, and heavy metal heroes from Fresno. They're just that. Great band, great set list. So I can't really say anything else bad after that. Just a really great set that they put on. So finally, we're on to Raven's set, and besides a couple of technical issues, which I've got some on video, again, great fucking performance. Before they even went into the Wiped Out album, they played a couple of non-Wiped Out songs. So like some stuff off of, select different albums. Like what they opened up with Take Control off of All For One. Then they went into like Hell Patrol off of Rock Until You Drop. Then of course they went into 2 songs off the Metal City album, and then into the song Rock Until You Drop. Finally, it was on to the Wiped Out album, and what a killer performance from them. It was my first time seeing Raven, and it was actually Raven's first time playing in Fresno, which is a pretty good moment, I guess, for Raven. Though again, just because it's their first doesn't mean that it was a perfect, first performance in Fresno, because again, there were some technical issues, and that's only the sort of, I guess you can say, negative I have about the night is probably certain the technical issues I was going on. But again, Raven has a great sense of humor, and they made up for it. So it almost made you feel like it was a part of the performance, all the technical issues and a lot of that. It made you think it was all a part of the performance, and it was fucking great. They are just I would call Raven the kings of improvision, kings of improv, because they just know how to make, turn a negative into a positive in a way. They're just great at that, and in a way it does make them pretty professional to an extent. Even when things aren't completely going their way, they'll still be professional about it and make some entertainment about it, just to give fans something to enjoy, and it gives them something to remember, and they did a great job with that. So all kudos to the guys in Raven for putting on a kick-ass set, and of course eventually at the end of this, Playing Like Chainsaw, well, they're on to playing one last song, and that's the song Wiped Out, which of course was originally released on the Don't Need Your Money 7-inch from 1980. Again, that was also what their very first release to begin with. Again, on Neat Records in 1980, just a year before Rock Until You Drop. So there you go. But that's it, folks. That's all I got to say here. I went on for pretty long. Again, there was a lot of stories to be said. It was a pretty wild experience all in all. I didn't get to record this on my video. If I did, you've been seeing, me wearing my Raven shirt instead of just showing you. But again, either way, doing it like this I think was a better idea too, because of I'm able to kind of move around and do something a little different, and have it in front of me, the camera, and still able to probably give you a pretty good, clear audio recording. So there you go. I hope all of you end up enjoying a lot of these little live snippets at the end of this video. So enjoy, and I can't wait to also talk about my experience of seeing Scorpions and Thunder Mother inside the Save Mart Center. So that'll probably be by next week. So with that, I hope all of you enjoy. This is Heavy Thrasher saying I'm out, and I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.
burst into flame. Thank you. Good night.
Well, you're being a twat, aren't you? Let's try this. So much quieter. Damn it! I have an idea. Hang on a minute. This is technology working against us here, I think, a little bit, right? Let's try. Sounds like I'm frying chips. You want some French fries? We're going to abandon this, I'm sorry. It's the way it's got to be. So much for culture. How about some rock and roll, eh?